But Jesse, you know these are competitive people. They've been
they
playing
keep
football.
Score, Ryan.
They
keep score. The day they stop keeping score, that's the day that score doesn't matter. If you keep score and we're competing, I want to win. If it wasn't about winning and losing, they wouldn't keep score. I'm sorry, that's the competitor in me. That's the football guy in me. If they're keeping score, I want to win. Period.
Well said. And I guarantee you there's not a coach down there on either side who wouldn't say the exact same thing. You could probably include the players on that as well. But in a game that in the end, if you win it or lose it, it doesn't necessarily matter moving forward. This was a pretty darn well played game.
You know what it matters? When these guys go off to school and they're in the same conference, when these guys have made lifelong friendships and you're sitting around the water cooler and you're saying, hey man, remember when we played back in 2021 at AT&T? I kicked your butt. You lost to me.
I love it. Final score today in Arlington, the West 52, the East 42. Most valuable players, I think defensively we have an official defensive most valuable player. It's going to go to Amari Pate, the Fresno State commit for Team West. He's from Culver City High School in California, had an interception earlier in this game. And then offensively, I mean, flip a coin between these two guys, Shanderick Powell and Jared Smith. Both of those guys certainly in the running.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're two outstanding performances. And we talked about at the top of the show is that coming into this game, you never know who's going to come out and shine. And early on, you thought it was Shanderick Smith was a runaway with it. And then all of a sudden, Jared Smith said, not so fast, Mr. Holly. I got something to say about it. And he turned it on, 4 touchdowns. I'm sure he had over 200 yards receiving and a fantastic performance. But in these type of games, when you have it close like that, it usually goes to the guy who was on the winning team.
Yes, I would agree with that.
That's why winning counts, Ryan.
I know historically Blue Gray has wanted to award one to the winning team, one to the losing team. So if you give Amari Pate the defensive most valuable player, he's on the West, so you try to give the offensive MVP to somebody on the East. That would maybe lead you to believe that Jared Smith might be the guy that wins it. But either way, both of those guys, just incredible games today. And, you know, really, were they guys that were on our radar coming in? Yes, absolutely. Shanderick Powell is headed to North Alabama. As we mentioned earlier, had over 28 rushing touchdowns as a senior, averaged over 16 yards per carry as a running back. Jared Smith getting a lot of love from Ohio Valley Conference schools. But were they did we know they were quite the offensive players that we saw perform today at AT&T Stadium? I would say definitively no. And yet they came out and put on a performance of a lifetime. Both of them here today on the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
And that's why you come to these games. You come to these games to say, hey, I want to showcase my skills against the best. Yeah, I did it in my conference, and yeah, I did it in my own state. And maybe in my state, in my conference, I might have been the best. Or I might have been the second best, or whatever it may be. But now let me take my talent and put it up against some of the best from Arkansas, some of the best from Texas, some of the best from Ohio, some of the best from California, who's all on this field. And then now let me show you that I am not only the best in my area, but I'm competing against the best from other areas. And I promise you, some of these guys who've come into this game may say, hey, I was thinking about going here, committed here. By the time this tape gets out and they get a chance to see what they've done over 4 quarters of football, some of these guys and some of the coaches are going to say, wait a second now. We didn't see this guy. Let's talk to this guy and see if we can't offer him up as well.
Yeah, no question. And so what a great performance today by all of these players on both sides. A well-played game. The final score, West 52 and the East 42. That'll do it for us. We're back one more time in the class of 2021 on May the 24th, 1 p.m. kickoff right here at AT&T Stadium. The game will be, of course, tape delayed for you on the Impact Football Network and accessible the following within the next 48 hours after the game is over. So we hope you'll check that one out. Go back and watch this one again. It was an incredible game with a lot of really talented players on both sides of the ball and on special teams. And we hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and we hope to see you next time. For Jesse Hawley, for Jada Teague, and our entire Impact Football Network team, I'm Ryan Castle saying so long from AT&T. The West wins it over the East, 52-42. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
And number 7,